Penis.
Hey guys, welcome to Soundtale Productions Heroes of Histaeria. We're playing a little Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This is our Unearthed Inheritance campaign. Before we dive in, let's do a quick hellos. Let's start with our buddy Button.
Hello, I'm your buddy Button. My pronouns are they, them. I'm Blue Button on social media. Aside from here, you can find me over on Sundays on Tales Archived in the Known Realms Tolesh campaign. Help me.
I know.
I play Echinacea. Send help. And then I also play in the Astral Academy mini campaign over on Dice Cream Sandwich. Alec.
Hey everybody, my name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places on the internet at Tales Archived. When I'm not here playing Finn Mauricio and Blood Fighter on Unearthed Inheritance, you can find me as the archivist of the Known Realms Tolesh campaign over at Tales Archived. Thank you for having me, David.
Beautiful. Yes, I am David. I'll be your GM this evening. Pronouns are he, him. You can catch me here as the GM of this game, as well as Sansi Saga, our other Pathfinder 2nd Edition game. And you can catch me over on Tales Archive playing Whistle, the Hobgoblin fighter in the Known Realms Tolesh campaign. All right.
Butthead energy.
Okay. So, guys, here it comes. Hopping in. Let's get a little change of ambiance here. All right, my friends. Previously, we witnessed the finale of your efforts to commandeer the alien vessel known as the Phraaktyl. The culmination of all your efforts boiled down to a final encounter against the Baron of Dameril, revealed to be an aboleth named Prana Trufan, and the strange alien cloud of fragments of data known now as Sparklefart. The battle was chaotic, from dragon breath to hellhounds to domination spells to lightning bolts. At some point during the melee, Dex, invisible, had attempted to steal from the villain's laboratory, and despite successfully detecting a trap, she did accidentally spring it when attempting to disarm it. The effects transmuted her form from Dex to that of an Arbiter, the spherical mechanical sentries that you've all slain by the dozen at this point. Things seemed, though, to be securely in your favor once Cuthbert did manage to prevent Prana from potentially escaping. But then tragedy struck. Dex, as an arbiter, determined to aid her comrades, challenged Sparklefart directly, who at this point had assumed the shape of an eerily perfected humanoid. This mismatch ended the only way it could have. Sparklefart crushed Dex in a single fell fall of their hammer. Driven by the anguishing sight of your fallen companion, Cress, Cuthbert, Finn, you vanquished Sparklefart. In the aftermath, you called out to Dex, your voices echoing in the empty ship you had won. We resume shortly after you have taken control of the Phraaktyl. It's been landed safely in what was once Dameril's bustling marina, and here within the vessel are yet items and perhaps knowledge that might be acquired, while outside, whatever may be in the town is still a mystery. So, my friends, I leave it to you. Let's see what happens.
Okay. We were going to meet all of the denizens of the grotto in Dameril.
Yeah, you were Gron and the goblins, Nixus and the other two.
Yep.
The bugbears, yeah, they're on their way.
Okay, they're not here yet?
Not here yet. They were a couple hours behind you guys.
Yeah, I imagine that's made a little bit more with the ship.
Yeah, so in game time, well, the ship didn't get too far. You guys were able to kind of just land it right back down. So in game time, that only took you guys about like half an hour to like really kind of like make your way through the bottom thing, and all of that business. So it is only about, it's not even like midday yet. There's no, sun and moon cycle. Everything right now, you guys are kind of in permanent twilight as you look out through the central display that you can see the outside through. You can see it's still twilight as ever.
That's an interesting point. So the Monarch left, but the planet is still tidally locked somehow?
Correct. Or at least seems to be,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Yep. So, it's, you guys because you guys woke up very early after your crazy dream. Technically, we're several sessions in, but it's only really been a handful of hours in game time,
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gron, let me get a survival check for those of you that are at least expert in survival. I think Cress?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Survival. Oh. Wow, not good. Oh, you know what? I am only trained if you don't want me to roll.
No, it's okay. Because this is something we kind of talked about before anyway. So
Okay. 18 total.
18 total is good. 18 is like my baseline. It's like the 10. So with an 18, you do recall that you guys would be at least a couple hours ahead of Gron and them. Now, if they were to do something like pick up the pace kind of thing, like if they were to really rush, maybe they get here sooner, but you don't know if they are.
We don't really know their skill sets outside of Gron's, and I don't think Gron showed that ability. Okay. I think Cress is going to make sure that the remains of the Arbiter, that is Dex, are together and safe somewhere. And then they are going to try to they want to get an understanding of the vessel.
Okay. Absolutely. Tell you what, I have you guys right now, just for shits and giggles, I had you guys on the exterior map of the thing. Let me go ahead. I'll just move you guys back over to the interior map, just so you can kind of, that helps with getting us back in that space there. Okay. So, Cress, yeah, you are at that strange crystalline keyboard. The keys that you know comprise the controls are laid out before you, and you try to get a little bit of understanding of the Phraaktyl. Now, you previously, in the last session, were able to successfully pilot it. You activated it and interfaced with its interface. So let's go ahead. I'll have you just go ahead and roll another crafting check. That was what you used last time. The DC is lower. Yeah.
If I imagine Crest communicated this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm
He's-
still at the controls.
Yeah, Finn's got his learn in hand ready and just kind of backing them up in any way they need. If I'm able to add like a circumstance bonus to that crafting.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you guys are shoulder to shoulder at these keys. Finn, we'll have you go first. Go ahead and roll a crafting check. This will be your aid, essentially. If you beat a 20, Crest, you take a +1. Or if you beat a critical success, it's a +2.
That is a... Oh my god, sorry, math.
Good.
Going from 5e to math to 32.
That's a critical success. With a critical
All right.
success, that's a +2 to you, Crest.
Sick. Ooh, okay. So 17 plus 2 is 19 plus 13. Math.
32. Nice.
Also 32.
Yeah.
Twins.
Twinsies.
Hero point, both you, in addition to your original hero point. You guys get the same roll. That's kind of fun.
That's very
I like when we get fun luck things. I feel like that's one of those things you should
Yeah.
respect, right?
I love that.
Flip a penny over if you see it.
Mhm.
So, with a 32, yeah, you activate the interface. You see the lights begin to dim, change color as the monotone voice fills the space. Halcyon acquiescence interface activated. How may we assist you?
Fractal schematics.
Fractal schematics. And you see, as you say so, it echoes back almost like a confirmation, and you see a kind of in the center of the room where that teleport pad was, kind of boom, a holographic version of the fractal appearing in the space.
Ooh.
You can see all the different levels. You can see that there are, it's fairly detailed. You can see certain sections seem to be occupied by different things in terms of like rooms. You guys really explored 2 floors, which with the teleportation pad, it can move you to just whatever floor you want, right? You now expect Sparkle Fart or Prana had just pulled you guys to this room, right? But there's a little bit more ship to explore. It is a ginormous ship. It's easily 700 feet in height from the floor. It's over 1,000-foot wingspan. You guys are parked in Damrel at the moment. We have a Damrel town map, and I actually put the map on here just for scale, so you guys can kind of see what it looks like next to it. Where is it? Just to kind of get, yeah. It takes up most of the map. You can see it's huge, and these are like these giant wing sections that kind of extend outward from the central body. They don't seem to be, as you're looking at the schematics here, you can tell that these are more engines, they're driving power, but they're not necessarily cabin space or anything. All of that is in the central spindle.
Are they kind of akin to like turbines?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Okay. They're churning, and as they're doing so, they're creating this sort of electrical energy. Right now, the ship is landed, so it's much slower. But as it was taking off, you guys saw it was, going a little bit faster. Producing these strange glyphs as it's doing so. It's drawing some sort of magical energy to drive it forward. It's very advanced technology. At least with your twin high scores, you can tell that this thing takes a lot of power.
Yeah. Halcyon interface.
It's kind of a chime, it's aware.
Requesting piloting manual.
You hear takes a moment, there's kind of a little bit of a chime in the piloting manual. Program initiated. And on the screen in front by the piano, you can see it kind of pull up, and it pulls up a representation of the keys in front of you, and it kind of has them directing. You can see, little dialogue explanation boxes, across different ones. You can kind of see certain ones are kind of lit to correspond with each other, creating sort of like almost, let's just call it like a video game control kind of system almost. Mm-hmm. The dialogue boxes and everything, though, you can see they have been translated to Common, but as they initially load in, they appear as a different language first, and then as your eyes fall to them, it kind of rewrites itself into a translatable form for you. Because last session, you'd also made sure it was set into Common, mm-hmm. or it set itself into Common.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so I think what they want to discern looking at this manual, mm-hmm. Like the basics of maneuvering it. Obviously, we landed the vessel, mm-hmm. but how to fly, what offensive and defensive, what the offensive and defensive situation is, like what we have sure. at our disposal. And I think Cress is aware of, in the other universe, in this multiverse, mm-hmm. of the existence of something called a rocket, and they have this sense that this vessel might be able to traverse more than just the skies in this atmosphere. So they're going to be like looking for that.
Okay. Yeah. As you look through it, it's easy enough that you can tell that, yes, this vessel, your instincts are spot on. It is designed to essentially traverse any sort of open space. It can even go through water and move through water as though it would air, with some effects to its speed, some detriments to its speed. Can't burrow or anything, though. It is, as far as weapons and everything, defensive wise, it does have a shield that is in addition to its standard hit points. Currently, it's not at its maximum hit points. It is somewhat damaged. Cress, you recall, at least in the alternate universe, that the Nautiloid had battled the Honor over the Frog Grove in the Whispering Jungle. Given the similarities between the two universes, you suspect that this ship might have had a similar encounter.
I did most of the damage to the vessel.
That's true. You did it. Yeah, you went in and pulled out a neuron.
Yeah.
Out of a squid ship. And then, so it's got a shield in addition to its health. It also has a rail gun, so it can shoot lightning at fairly great distances, but it does have to slow down, and basically it can't move on its turn when it does so. As far as crewing the vessel, it does not require an extensive crew. You can basically control the entire thing from here. But it does require more than one person to help, just because it is so alien and immense. Even as you're kind of like moving through the controls, you find yourself sitting here going like, there's no way, how am I physically going to hit this button or something and operate this on the other side of the console?
It's like the Doctor. Never mind. I don't know if anyone's. Never mind. Spoilers. Okay.
So, fairly complicated chip. I know I promised you guys a stat block. I'll be honest, I haven't finished it, but
you're good.
I'll have it to you. I'll have it to you fairly soon here.
And then I'd like to see what powers the vessel.
What powers the vessel? Okay. As you look for a power source, you find that it is. Go ahead, roll another crafting check here. So DC is 24.
That's it. Damn, I just missed it because I rolled a 10, so 23.
Finn, I'm assuming, would be assisting. So Finn, let's see.
Crafting, you said?
Yeah, you just need to make a 20. If you get it over a 20, you get a plus 1. Or
18 plus 13.
Yeah.
So
okay.
31.
Cress, you get plus 2, so you technically have a 25.
Nice.
Okay.
So a 25 is a success. What powers the vessel? As you are looking into it, you see that there are a series of glyphs. And the glyphs appear to draw on a external source of energy. This is a little difficult to explain because it's similar to magic, right? Similar to your magic, the way you would draw, like, your strength, your power from, the primal elements of the world, or a divine caster might get theirs from a deity, right? These glyphs seem to attune the vessel to some sort of magical force. With your regular success, you know that it's a force. You don't know which force it is, though. But you're an intelligent person. I'll let you venture a few guesses if you'd like. You might have some theories. I feel like you're cooking something.
Well, Finn, this vessel is fueled by a power source, some sort of magic. And if fucking Sparkle Fart is any indicator, I'd say that some sort of order law. Might be it. Seemed like it's what it was pursuing. Then again, who fucking knows? Oh!
It seemed like, yeah, it was intent on taking out,
Chaotic elements.
yeah.
Halcyon interface.
Bring.
May I see the flight log?
Preparing flight logs. It produces a series of columns and texts you can see as you look through them. Actually, as your eyes walk through them and the system translate it, it's dates. Any particular dates you're looking for?
They're looking for the Frog Grove date.
The Frog Grove date. Okay, what? So here's the thing: these dates are in months that are not your months.
Hmm.
So you know that right now it's Alizaros. I believe Dex confirmed that for you previously.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you think back to maybe the little children's song that Dex had started singing towards you. Go ahead, give me a society check.
Think I do have this. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm so good at society. Oh, but that's a
good one to be good at.
roll. 5 plus 11, 16.
16. Unfortunately, you get kind of tripped up on the words. You're thinking like maybe this one, and you kind of pull it over. And as you open it up, you see a flight log where it looks like the ship was actually making its way down the eastern coast of Histaeria, somewhere between the city, the town of Io's Landing, and towards Muldanordon. It seems like that is the path that it kind of it repeats. So you can tell like that's, and you can see actually as you're looking at it too, you also get things like elevation readings and stuff like that, and you can see that it was doing so underwater.
Oh. So this was before the last wave.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, Cress is going to try and scroll back
Okay.
to the first wave and just before the first wave.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me pull out my notes here because I believe, Cress, you guys... Okay. Go ahead. Let's get another society is what I had you roll last time. We'll do it. Go ahead for another society.
And this is the new year, so they're like fucking the the beginning. Okay. 21.
21. 21 is a decent success. You're able to find, you said between the last wave and what was it?
No, the first wave and just before it.
The first wave and just before it. Okay. You find the vessel at this point was circling over the kind of the inner section, the inner bay of the Brienne Terra Basin. So I don't really have a world map for you guys anymore. But this would have been from your current position in Dameril. This would have been like southwest towards the city of Azafast. You can see that it looks like the vessel was there and they were actually taking some sort, according to the log, they were taking some sort of readings. They were collecting, looks like soil samples. And based on the soil samples that they collected, it seems that area is highly volcanic. And they're finding high concentrations of sulfurs and all these various, chemicals that are that are more volatile.
They siphoned up our oceans, and they were looking through our soil. It's like they just wanted to mine us for resources.
Makes you scared to think that maybe they used up all of theirs.
Might be even worse if they didn't. They just wanted ours anyway. And do I see a flight path from before the first wave from outside the atmosphere?
Ah, I got you. What you see as you enter into this, actually, this is actually the first log. So this is the first log, and you see a couple things. First and foremost, the assigned pilot to this vessel was named Exigent, like the word EXIGENT. It lists Axiomite Exigent as the pilot, and the interface, as you enter into this, the interface activates and says, you have access to the log of the maiden voyage of the Halcyon Acquiescence, the beginning of the campaign against the world of Canaan.
Objectives?
Objectives of the campaign against the world of Canaan. First and foremost, to establish order where there is chaos. Second, to apprehend the deity known as Thadril. For crimes against reality.
Could have something to do with a little tree journey.
Maybe, but that happened today.
True.
That seems a little preemptive. Not to say they couldn't have divinatory powers, but it seems...
Or Thadril's done this before. Or something like it. If they're talking about taking out agents of chaos and Thadril's on that list, I see an act of changing reality, in the way that he changed it now is quite chaotic in their eyes.
I don't disagree. I just question whether or not that was the initial motive.
No, understandable.
Don't know if the ship would know this. Charges against Thadril.
His ship responds with data unavailable beyond the requisite necessary information. Yeah.
Ship's like, no.
Ship's like, I'm a ship.
I am a
boat.
ship. I'm a boat.
The additional information you get from that entry, though, is purpose, or the ship originated from the Monark, and it itself, actually. Here's something odd, right? And I think, Cress, maybe this stumbles onto you, right? Everybody knew what to call these things. Like, as you're looking at this, you're seeing, oh, this ship originated from the Monarch. Why does this thing call the Monarch the Monarch? How is it referring to its own thing? Like, that's not a colloquial name that the folks on the continent gave it seems. Or maybe the ship is just putting it into data that you can understand. But I think Cress is smart enough, and I think, Finn, you are as well, that it's one of those things that just kind of like, that's odd. Cuthbert kind of comes over and nudges you and points a nose towards the screen. He says, it looks like something's happening over there. I don't know what this is though, but lots of lights. And as you look towards it, it is a display of the outside of the ship, and you can see several fish folk are coming from the town towards the ship. I mean, they're just tiny fish folk. I mean, obviously this is a ginormous ship, right? But they're coming towards the ship. They don't appear. Well, actually, you know what? Go ahead. Let's roll a check. See if you can determine their demeanor. So this would be a perception check.
I'm gonna use a different die. 18.
18. Okay. Alec, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
Okay, with the 15, yeah, maybe Alec, you're just kind of like looking over, and then Cuthbert just kind of happens to like nudge you. He's like, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" But Cress, as you look, you got an 18. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a little difficult to tell exactly what their demeanor is, but they don't appear aggressive. No weapons are visible as they are approaching the ship. But you know that they're fish folk gathering outside of the vessel.
All right.
Should go. Talk to him.
Yeah, let's just figure out how to use these teleport. I don't like the teleport thing at all, but I know we got to use it now.
Ooh, your ship schematic roll. I forgot there's something fun. Here's the fun thing that you have on your ship schematics. The ship doesn't have quite like a normal brig, but you see that it does have the ability to send things to an extra dimensional temporal brig, basically. And it designates that as the device to the south on the map, on the interior ship map. Remember that there's that thing with the two turbines and like a ball in the middle? It looks like that's kind of the brig, and you can basically teleport people from the pad into that thing. Cress, you can see that's probably what the Prana had tried to do to Cuthbert when you guys were digging the teleport pad. He's just trying to imprison him.
Hate that. Oh. Shit, we should look at Prana to see if he had... Maybe has some sort of item that's controlling the fish people, and we can undo that or something.
That'd be
Seems
good.
like it would just be him.
It seemed like it, but I was also going to say maybe we could ask the Phraaktyl if it's a part of a fleet. And if there are other names of maybe some commanding officers we could get.
Allies in the region.
the fucking I need to know, but I don't want to know.
It goes ring. Listing other fractals within the vicinity of the continent of Histaeria. And it pulls up. It pulls up, dotted kind of throughout the continental map of Histaeria. First off, the map that pulls up is very different to the one you remember, Cress. It is actually, you can see that where there were rivers, lakes, there are now deep canyons. You can see there are now the mountain ranges just seem that much taller as they're kind of just these deep troughs. The general shape of the continent kind of holds intact, but it looks like because of the way the fissures and the continent had been affected as the last wave, ran over it, you can see that it's kind of split into 4 kind of chunks in, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. You guys are kind of on a strip of land. The peninsula that Damrel was on is on the southeast. And you're just on like the southeast tip of the continent, actually. In the center, between all of the different continents, you see that there is a black hole that is hundreds of miles wide. There is a hole in the center of your continent. As you see the little dots of light appearing for the different ships in the area, the different allied ships in the area, you can count a total of 15 of them. And there are at least 5 of them centered around a spot of the map just northwest of the gaping hole. Roll me a society check, or survival, actually. Just to kind of remember what might be happening in that region of the world. Finn, you can roll as well, actually.
Survival?
Survival? Yeah. Just a geography check. I'd also take society, too, if you wanted, if you felt that your modifier there was better.
Nah. 26.
22.
26 and 22, both good rolls. You both recognize that spot where those ships are conjugating. That is where the Orve was, this world's equivalent of the Holy City. This is where the High Richter, who is the head of the Church of the Pantheon of Oros, that's their city. You can see the highest concentration of ships in that area.
Are those the closest allies?
No, closest allies.
No,
closest
I wanted
allies.
to know that.
No, you're
but
good.
I also want to know where the nearest enemy is.
Fair point. Fair point. Closest ally. Actually, the closest ally is out towards the northeast a bit. Cress. No roll required. This would have been kind of the region where Zeladil would be.
You ever just feel like murdering?
Not often, but right now, yeah.
That's where I'm from. And they'll point where the ally is.
Finn, actually, as you look at this and you look towards where you're from, the northern coast, up by the northern sea, you can actually see that there are also at least 3 fractals within that area. It's probably the second highest concentration next to the Orove, actually.
Finn, you see Cress, his hand just point upward. That's where I'm from.
Fuck.
I don't know. But I want to find out, and I don't want them to see us coming. Can you cloak us from the other fractals?
The ship kind of putting query unanswerable. Define parameters.
Protect us from the vision of other fractal ships that are not this one.
Bring. All fractals are innately connected through the order of law.
Figured it was worth a try. At least we know.
We are all. You can see as it kind of continues. I guess it says, "The Inevitables designed us all to work as a unit." Sorry, no. The Axiomites designed us all to work as a unit.
Show me the course. Back to the Axiomites' home.
The voice responds and it goes, query impossible. Fractal was transported, Fractal Halicine acquiescence was transported to this realm via the Monark, contained within its vessel. See the Monark kind of being like a mothership. But it says it does offer flight path of Monark to the city of Axis available. And what you see next is really quite something, as the central section where the ship was kind of expands outwards, and you can see it pulls further and further out from the planet of Canaan, outwards into the astral sea, into space, beyond the edge of the inner sphere. It passes through beyond. It'll just like zoom out, like rapid zooms out. You can see very quickly as you're just kind of like rushed through the elemental planes into an astral expanse. And then it travels through another field of stars as it kind of twists, and it brings up a long spire, a spindle, not unlike the Phraaktyl itself, a crystalline spire. And a light just kind of emanates outwards from that. And it says, the City of Axis entrance. And then it just kind of cuts from there. So what you can get is this came from beyond your plane, beyond even the elemental planes, as it just kind of rushed through all six. Just
All right, so the Fractals can't get off of our planet without the Monarch, and the Monarch is gone. So all those motherfuckers are stuck here.
Fuck.
1 down, 14 to go.
It's interesting that they came to try Thadril, but they have killed and kidnapped, committed crimes that seem chaotic. It's as if the standard is too subjective for it to merit truth. They wreaked havoc and chaos on a world, and they call it order.
Not all laws are made with everyone in mind. And I am sure that these Axiomite operate on a law that serves them and only them. So, what seems lawful to us is chaotic to them. What seems chaotic to them is lawful to us. I want to understand. But you're right. It looks like, and for all we know, is senseless chaos. You can say it's for order, but you're right.
They've upended a natural order. They've upended a world. And that fucking hole at the Orave makes me think that they were willing to target whomever may have stood in their way just to get to one entity.
Must be a very severe crime that Thadril committed to evoke this sort of response from such lawful beings.
I refuse to believe that collective punishment is the answer.
Both hands of Finn sort of plant themselves on Cress's shoulders. So do I. This world should not have to punish, to accept the punishment for one entity, a god. Someone that such a small percentage of this world has actually seen. To be held responsible for. I don't think a lot of things are purely good or evil. This is evil.
I refuse to be like them. Maybe they have their reasons, and I'm not going to judge all of them. But I will stop them if they try to hurt people. Maybe now that they're at a disadvantage, maybe now that they don't have their mothership, we can get some of them to work with us to rebuild this world that they fucking broke. But that's not business for today. Let's go see what the fish folk want.
No, but it is business that we're going to do.
Man, this fucking sucks.
Before you guys head down to go and address the fish folk, I just want to check in real quick with my man Finn.
No!
Yeah, buddy, is you. Look at me. He's a good boy. All right. So, Finn, while, I know you were kind of assisting Cress in and out with, as they were kind of like going through the stuff. But you also did spend some time looking around the laboratory last time.
Correct.
Yeah, because you identified, there was the trap and stuff like that, and you figured out the transmutation magic. So, I do want to make sure that you get, things that you would be in the area, right? There's a little bit of loot to be found, right? I don't want you guys leaving the room without proper looting, because I imagine you would be looting. So, okay, let's see. Things you find. There are 3 areas, Finn, that are really kind of worth grabbing stuff from. First off, Prana's body, the fish body, is toast. It's disintegrated. It's like cooked fish inside that little kiln. But over on the desk, you do find a few consumable things, and then you also find there's that chest, the thing that had gotten Dex. Within that, you find several different looks like spell scrolls, a potion, and a journal.
I know it's Prana's bathwater.
Opening.
Okay, yeah.
As you kind of look through, there's also in the chest. There also is a length of cloth. Looks like a cloak. You also find a set of bracers and a conch shell.
Oh, okay. I think, Finn looking like a kid who grabbed way too much at like a toy store. It's like, I know you're dealing with that, and I found all this stuff. I figured
that's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. But the scrolls and potions I figured give to you. I know you're a crafter, so maybe we can figure out what these are. And
you're a crafter too, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
You're an alchemical crafter. I'm not an alchemical crafter. And I'll sit with these and try to figure out what they are.
Sure.
He kind of has like the cloak and bracers and everything like that.
Okay. Cress, we'll say while you were kind of looking through the folders and stuff, Finn, you were doing a little bit of this stuff with the items. We're gonna say this probably all took you guys about maybe half an hour.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Finn, depending on your rolls, you might not get through all the items.
That's fine. What am I rolling? Crafting?
Okay, so you would be rolling as you suspect these to be magical. Let's start with the journal.
Okay.
Or do you want to go? No, you said the mantle. You said the mantle thing, the cloak.
I'm just saying what I had. I'm fine to start with the journal.
Sure. No, we'll start with the cloak. Go ahead and roll a Arcana if you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm expert in Arcana.
Perfect. So yeah, Arcana is what you'd be rolling here.
Oh, that thunderstorm made it here.
Oh, you found it?
That scared the shit
It'll
out of
be
me.
to me in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used a hero point just for clarity. I got a 13 plus 13 for 26.
13 plus 13 for 26. Yes, you are able to identify this item. And give me one sec here. Whoa, not there, please.
Running to open Archives of Nephis.
Yeah. So you find this very finely woven cloak. It's silky. It's got a brass clasp, and while you kind of like flick it on and off because there's no attunement, right? So you identify that it makes you a little bit more deceptive. So it is a unmemorable mantle. So this cloak gives you a +1 bonus to deception checks to impersonate an individual and to lie while in character as that individual.
Incredible.
Okay, you can attempt another item. I'll say the items. Your options are there's the bracers, there's the conch, or there's the journal.
The journal's really tickling my brain here.
So for the journal, occultism.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Occultism. I'm trained in occultism. Is it fine?
That's fine.
All right. 17 plus 11 for 28.
17 plus 11 for 28. With a 28,
Yeah.
you find the journal is actually a collection of several things. As you look through, you find that there is a spell scroll. One of the pages is actually a spell scroll of humanoid form. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The other thing you find is it looks like a potion recipe.
Okay.
I'll say you probably, like, as you're kind of just scrolling through it, it says the Skeptic's Elixir.
Skeptic's Elixir.
I feel like that makes you good at perception. I'm just going to guess.
We'll see. I actually don't remember what it does. I just rolled it on the thing.
Like, what do I know?
Yeah.
No, you get up.
It's the right level. Appear on the table. It's like, yep, you're in. You sound cool.
Sharpens your mind and allows you to see through lies, falsehoods, and magical trickery. You gain a +1 to perception checks in your perception DC to notice falsehoods.
Okay, that's useful. And then the last couple things is as you look through, you can also tell that it looks like there are actually a couple of runes written down here in this journal. Dramatic
It was a dark and
effect.
stormy night.
It was a dark and stormy night as Finn flipped through the pages of
Now,
the
David,
journal.
Tell me what runes I've received.
Those you'll have to roll for separately, but you find a couple of runes in there.
All
But
right,
the last thing you find in this journal,
Oh, yeah, we're still in the journal.
the last thing you find in this journal, it's not magical,
Yeah,
but
all right.
you find the journal's author, and it says, property of Sewin Zodic.
It looks like it's Madame Zodic's journal. Well, it could be useful.
That seems worth reading.
And with that idea in mind, I think this is going to be a good spot for us to take our first break, or our only break. We only take one break. I'm so used to mimicking Alec. So, guys,
Wow, he wants to be just.
I want to be just like you when I grow up, Dad.
Doo-doo-doo.
I wanna walk like you. All right, guys. So we will be back in about 15 minutes here. Thank you so much for hanging out, checking us out. We've been Stealthy Elf Productions, a little bit of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We'll see you in a couple minutes here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back. All right, guys. We are back here, Heroes of Histaeria on Soundtale Productions, playing some Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We got our crew, Cress and Finn. Okay, so where we left off, the two of you and Cuthbert have just been going through some of the stuff on the ship. Cress, you were going through the ship's interface, kind of exploring some of the previous history that the ship has encountered, kind of reviewing its flight paths and learning more about the origins of these ships. Meanwhile, Finn, you did a little bit of looting. Looting over in the laboratory of Sparklefart. And there...
Sparklefart, my laboratory!
Sparklefart, did he get out of my laboratory? Sparklefart is definitely more Mandrake. Mandark. Mandrake?
It's Mandark.
It's Mandark. You found a collection of things, some interesting things belonging to Pranatrufan, you suspect, kept inside a chest that was protected by axiomatic magic, the thing that had affected Dex. You also found a sundry list of various chemicals and scrolls that you guys will have you... during a little bit of downtime here, we'll say you guys can work on identifying all that stuff. But Finn, you did identify at least a couple of the items, specifically the unmemorable mantle, a scroll of humanoid form, and that there are at least a couple more ruins hidden within that journal for you to identify later. But I think that'll catch us up to speed where you guys were kind of thinking like, oh, maybe we head out and check out what's happening below. Is Alec frozen? No, he's just reading. I wasn't sure. Your reading face looks like your frozen face.
I was listening intently, and I think I went low power.
You immersed.
I went.
You.
So sorry. I'm listening.
No, you're good. Okay, so you guys know your path into this ship was through the teleportation pad. I think at least there was some thinking of that the path out of it may also be through teleportation pad. Oh, one more thing I want to update folks coming back from break is that as we went on break, these two lovelies did a perfect harmony of the Lion King song. So they got a hero point for that.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book, that was the one.
Shooby-doo!
That was it. An in-sync Shooby-Doo. Okay, so Shooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You guys on the path? Got some work to do now.
Yeah, I think we're going to go talk to the fish folk.
Okay, via teleportation pad. Finn, you were able to navigate this previously with a crafting check, I believe.
Yes, sir.
But now
I'd
you
like
guys...
to aid.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
You do have a Hal Scion acquiescence that...
yeah.
We'll just abbreviate that to maybe HA. You have Ha.
Ha. Alrighty. We use Ha.
Beam me in, huh?
Okay, beaming you outside, and as you step onto the platform, your bodies disintegrate again into those little fractal motes of data. Cress seems uncomfortable about this every time.
Yeah, they're holding on to Cuthbert even though they're both going to disintegrate. It doesn't matter, but they're just holding on to him.
And Cuthbert's tail is kind of flickering uncertainly. He says, "I don't like this part.
I hate this part."
I'm sorry, buddy.
You guys, and as your bodies enter into the teleportation pad and disintegrate into those little fractal motes, you don't see it, but the chamber that you were just in kind of darkens. It kind of turns off. No one's inside of it anymore. And you guys are now as you rematerialize, you find yourself standing atop a glyph identical to the one that was on the pad, but now it is just projected onto the sandy floor beneath the ship. You see the Phraaktyl has stopped itself some 90 feet above the floor. It's just floating there. It maintains a distance of 90 feet from the floor, and it projects you in a column of light, and the three of you materialize beneath it. And as you...
This is crazy.
As you do, As that thought kind of crosses your mind, you look out and you realize that you are not alone. Around you, in a semicircle, are tens of fish folk. Kind of not quite thousands, maybe not as much as 100, but there's a lot of fish people. There's a lot of fish folk that are now standing outside. And as you all materialize, you can see they all kind of immediately look at you, and they're just like, and they're starting to back away. Quick perception checks from the lot of you. From the two of you.
It should be
24.
24.
Hey!
Wow, synchronicity.
Oh my god, we're so insane.
I'm not doing it again.
insane.
I'm not giving you guys another hero point. You guys got your first hero point. So
You set a precedent. Give it,
I
bitch.
did. I did set a
No.
precedent, but no, I'm backing up my precedent.
Fine.
24 picks it up. As you guys appear into this space, and these creatures behold you, you see their eyes kind of drifting across the group of you, but everybody starts to back away once they lay eyes on Finn.
That makes sense.
There's something, and you can see all of them, the eyes kind of drift. I mean, you catch them kind of staring at you a little bit, Crest, staring at Cuthbert, but they're constantly going back to Finn, and you can sense that they're nervous, very nervous.
I know he's a big fella. He's a bigger fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cuthbert kind of, he says,
Yeah, I'm regal.
"What? Yeah, I am a big fella. I am a big fella."
I don't mean anybody any harm. I swear it.
As you,
I think Finn will take hands up. We'll take a few steps backward.
backward.
Yeah, just to create a little space.
Yeah. As you do so, you now kind of like, you step away, and immediately the crowd kind of goes to muttering amongst themselves. Do you see it? It's just, and the kind of, but then you hear a voice kind of cut over the top, and he says, whoa, good people, oh, hello there.
I love him.
You see a fish folk step out, a kind of a green skinned with a little bit of kind of like red kind of behind the gills, very kind of trout looking fish folk.
Yeah.
You see them dressed in the robes and garb of perhaps a priest or a cleric. Can you get some perception checks as well? Oh, you guys rolled some already. You rolled 24s, didn't you?
24s, yep.
Okay. I'll say you both clock this as well. As he's coming, as they're stepping forward, you can see on their robes, the front of the robe has a red circle. You've seen the symbol branded onto the other fish folk in the Phraaktyl. And you recognize them as the followers of the Crimson cult, the Crimson Circle cult.
Circle.
Yeah. And he goes, "Please forgive us. We didn't mean any sort of disrespect. Step forward. They're clearly equitors, just like Madame Zadok. Bow your heads." And people begin to kind of like, oh, and they kind of start to kind of bow the heads. And he says, "Please forgive us. We are not very well schooled yet in the ways of the Crimson Circle."
You don't need to bow to us.
Are you not equitors like Madame Zadok? We bowed. We mean no disrespect. We know. Are you here to choose more?
No. Can I? There's no such thing as insight.
There's a sense motive.
Yeah, I'd
there's
like to
sense
sense
Which is
motive. I want to
just
see if they're like afraid of us. Like if
Yeah,
this is like a cowed response.
sure. This is so it's a perception check. And if this individual was lying, I'd roll counter kind of deal. But
Mhm.
Good. 17 plus 14 is 31. Yes.
31's good. 31's real good.
Fucking good. David, do with that what you will.
No, 31 is critically good though. You see, what you pick up with the sense motive, this individual is deeply entrenched in their faith, whatever it seems to be. It seems to be this cult of the Crimson Circle. And that your emerging from the Phraaktyl leads it to believe that you are perhaps a holy person. You can kind of piece together the last people that went into the Phraaktyl were Prana, and what you know them to be called amongst the community as Prana's angels. So its head is bowed as it's offering to you. It's awaiting your word. They are awaiting your word. Sorry, not it.
And the rest of the community, does it seem to be responding in kind?
Those gathered amongst them, you see with that sense motive, and you kind of checking across the group, a lot of them seem to be that way. Some of them appear more curious than anything. You actually see that a few of them, at least those that are marked with the Crimson Circle, are up front. They are behind the one that's speaking. There are others that are kind of towards the back of the crowd, kind of peering around rocks. They don't appear to be marked, but they are curious onlookers. And with the 32, I'll say, yeah, with not seeing their mark, they're more curious, whereas these other ones are more respectful, seems like the way I can kind of describe it. I'm sure there's a better word for it, but it's beyond me. They're more pious. The head still bowed. My name is Koku. My lords. Koku. My name is Koku, my lords. If you are here to choose more for service or preservation, I am prepared to bring you multiple candidates. Lord Prufan can attest to my faithfulness.
It is not in doubt. Lord Prufan, wants to test how well you've been listening.
Oh, a test! Kind of picks it up. I need a deception check here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can I assist in any way?
I'll say so. I mean, they're very intimidated by you guys, but especially you, Finn. So, like, if you kind of pick up this is a lie and you kind of want to...
Yeah, I think Finn, it's quite obvious that he doesn't have to work very hard to be intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he is just going to look very stone-faced at this priestly individual.
Okay. Finn, as you kind of look stone-faced, you see, as your eyes fall onto the individual, immediately, they were maybe just kind of glancing up. You just caught them just as they were kind of taking a little bit of a glance at you. You see the eyes kind of travel from your feet to the weapon at your side, up to yours, and as they lock eyes, they immediately bring them back down. And there's a part of you, Finn. There's this part of you that kind of relishes in this individual's fear, in this individual's intimidation of you. That you feel the scales on your face tighten as though they're trying to contort your face into a smile, and you hear a voice in your head go, "Yes, as it should be." And you feel the rune on your face, mark of enemy, tingle.
Just sort of grips the scales and just shakes his head, disgusted with himself.
So Cress, yeah, you clock that. He's a big man. You know, a movement like that catches your eye. But you, what was your roll for the deception, please?
20, not nat.
20, not nat. Finn for shits and giggles, because you're kind of aiding, I do need you to roll that intimidation check.
Oh, got it.
And Cress, we'll see if you get a bonus to it.
Oh, 26.
26, yeah. So you get a +1, so 21.
A new one?
21 against these guys. I rolled for them to kind of see how they were kind of at, and they rolled a 5. They believe this wholeheartedly.
It's like a triple crit.
Yeah. They kind of. If this is the will of Lord Trufan, we are at your service.
You won't answer my questions?
Absolutely. How could we be of service?
When will Madame Zadok be returning here?
Oh, you ask a difficult question. It is not my place to know the will of the Equitors. Is that satisfactory?
You're passing with flying colors.
You see him kind of like trace with his right hand the circle on his chest.
How many angels were taken and when? And what are their names?
There are 3 angels. There was the angel Exigent, master of the Phraaktyl, and he kind of like gestures up, and all of them kind of in chorus kind of raise the hands up and then kind of back down, as well as I need to pull over my notes here real quick. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Oh boy. Where did I put these names? Give me 2 seconds here.
You are all good. Hey guys, I feel really bad about lying to these little fish fellas.
These little fish fellas, they're just so...
This whole thing sucks.
Yucky.
Okay. There was Axiomite Exigent, Lord of the Phraaktyls. There is also Axiomite Adra, the Keeper of Knowledge and the Philosopher. And finally, their leader, Axiomite Valu, who brings forward the will of the great Monark.
And when have each of these last visited?
It has been some time since they've graced the town of Damaril. Lord Valu is preoccupied in the Beacon of Eliza, while Lord Adra deciphers the ruins outside of the Black Reef.
Very good, Koku.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Who from the town has been chosen?
There have been many, my lord. Several have been chosen to be preserved within the Phraaktyl. Cress, roll me a quick crafting check here. And Finn, you're also expert in crafting, I believe. You can roll the same. And this is more of a recall knowledge using your crafting.
26.
Okay, 26. I'm waiting for Finnegan.
Finnegan.
28.
28. With the 26, Cress, both of you recall when you were looking at the schematic of the Phraaktyl that you had brought up, there were those empty spaces, those rooms between the two floors that you guys had kind of moved through, you kind of piece together now. You didn't really see a lot of other people on the ship, but you did see those one group of those couple of prisoners that you had rescued. And looking at it now, you recall that perhaps those spaces were filled with other individuals. Finn, with your 28, I'm just going to give you this. You remember just kind of like, just the way the way Koku said it kind of tripped your brain to recall.
Yeah.
One of the room, or several of the rooms labeled preservation. There are those preserved within the Phraaktyl, the ones chosen by the Equitors. And then there are those that required societal reprogramming that Master Trufan sent to Black Reef.
Yes, very good. Goku. Cress is going to describe all of the folks from the grotto. We will be expecting more Equitors, traveling on foot. You are to welcome them if you see them.
Of course, my lord. Truly, we are blessed as there's so many Equitors. He kind of turns to the followers. All of you. Perhaps salvation is within our grasp. Perhaps we may be selected. And the others kind of, murmur amongst themselves. And the other fish folk, though, the ones that were just kind of peering behind the rock, they kind of look to each other. You can see that maybe with your previous sense motives that were really good, you could tell the whole town is not like this, but those gathered before the Phraaktyl here, they are faithful of this.
Just completely indoctrinated.
Mm-hmm. It's around this time that you all hear the flapping of wings, and you turn over skyward to see a very haggard Gron flying in on draconic wings. And he kind of, and he kind of glides in, and he lands very clumsily in front of the group of you. I missed it then. What's this?
We are just discussing. This is the arrival of Equitor Gron, everyone. He is to be treated with respect.
He looks so...
and care. I think Chris is gonna look at him like...
He kind of looks back to you. All right then. Looks towards...
Yeah, all right.
All right then. Writing their previous perception, their previous sense motive, and I just rolled for Gron. He goes, "That's right. I am an Equinor." Looks to you, and they all kind of, "Yes, master. Yes, my lord." He did not roll well, but he did roll better than them.
Yes.
And he goes, he looks to you at Cress and Finn. He's like, "What's all this then?"
And the others, will they be arriving soon? Are you okay?
He looks to you and says, I'm doing all right. Yes, the others will be arriving shortly. Our goblin Equitors allies will be joining us shortly. Perhaps within the hour or so.
All right. Well, followers, please disperse. The Equitors need time to discuss, and, yes.
Of course, my lords, we await your judgment at Lord Prufan's manor. Come, all of you, we must pray. And they make their way out of the space. The others the other fish folk, as they're kind of like making their way out from the base of the fractal, they kind of like tuck back and they let them pass. You can see on their faces they're like, oh shit, okay, just let them fucking go.
Yeah.
You know, like these cats mean business. And they kind of linger for just a moment, but as the other fish folk kind of fall back, the rest kind of slip away. And I would say it's probably about maybe 20 or so individuals that were, you know, so roughly 50-50 split.
Okay. Half Crimson Circle, half not.
Yeah, yep. That watched you all descend from the fractal. But they all kind of go away, and Gron goes, all right, someone's got to fill me in. First off, great fucking work. Where's Dex? Imagine counting all the loot inside.
Gron.
Yeah. What's up?
When the others get here, we'll have a much better sense of what to do. But in this version of the world, just as long as we have and we don't know what to do about it. Dex got turned into an arbiter.
Like one of those little balls. Well, that's fucking awkward. She flying around then?
No,
No.
they broke her and we don't know what to do about it.
What do you mean they broke her? He looks to you, Finn. What do they mean they broke her?
One of the an Axiomite inside took his hammer to her. They killed her. Gron, I am so deeply sorry.
There might be a way to fix this if we can get her parts.
The Cress has them, right?
Yeah.
If we can get these to Umi, maybe. In the Ironwood, maybe she can fix her, and then we have a scroll of humanoid form. Maybe we can turn her back, and then maybe we can... I've heard of resurrection magic.
He steps forward and he kind of picks up one of the pieces in your hands, and as he's kind of stepping forward, he's just like, no. Come on. This isn't real.
It's real, but we're gonna try and make sure it's not forever.
Doesn't feel real.
Gron kind of backs away, pulls his hand over his face. He's just kind of, no. She was always here for us. We did this together. This wasn't supposed to happen.
I didn't even know that was something that could happen. I don't like this fucking version of the world.
The last one wasn't great either.
I think as he hears the pain in your voice, he comes back and he just kind of scoops you into his arm, and he reaches over and he grabs Finn. And he just pulls the three of you in over with Dex's remains. And he just cries. You feel the hot tears coming down your necks.
Cress cries with him.
I think Finn just moves to wrap the both of them as close to his warmth as possible. I think he, not unfeeling, quite obviously, very saddened by the situation. I think he acts as a pillar for the both of them.
Yeah. Gron kind of leans into you. You feel he's he's shocked in this moment, and you hear him as he says, "They saved me. She saved me, and I wasn't there for her. I wasn't there for her."
It's not your fault. It is not your fault. It's not any of our fault.
He kind of leans back away from you all, kind of, he pulls himself, and he goes, "Yeah, we know whose fucking fault this is."
I learned a little bit about them. The Axiomites.
I don't
They came
fucking
here.
care what they're called. I'm gonna kill every last fucking one of them. When you're ready to leave, I'll be in the tavern. And he kind of backs away. You see him as he staggers, really.
Gron,
He stops.
you do not have to mourn alone. We are right here.
Kind of pulls his head up, and he just says 4 words to you, Finn. You can see there's a coarseness and a rawness to his voice as he just says, "I'll be in the tavern."
We'll find you.
It's back to the 3 of you beneath the Phraaktyl now. Cuthbert kind of leans into you too. He kind of presses his shoulders. The neck kind of pulls Finn, Cress, the 2 of you, and he kind of presses in, and he says, "I've known him a long time. He's lost a lot.
I know.
Would you guys say your characters, you pass your time here maybe contemplating things a bit? So otherwise, yeah.
I think Cress would go to the tavern. They would sit beside Gron. They wouldn't say a word. They would sit beside him. They'd take the necklace off of their neck, the little plain band, stick it between them, and just look at this last little sliver of Lukavir that they have.
He reaches out a hand, and he's holding it. He's cupping your hand within his as the 2 of you look at it. You guys find yourselves in the tavern as you, yeah.
I think Finn's outside of the tavern.
Okay.
I think that after the engagement with the fish folk, I think he is mistakenly viewing Gron's callousness as a reaction to him as well. I think he's being very insecure in this moment.
I gotcha.
So I think he, understanding that Finn there are no magic words in this situation. There's nothing Finn could say to magically make this better. I also think he is so afraid of making any sense of mourning worse.
Okay.
So I think he sits outside of the tavern, whether Cuthbert is there or he's inside with Cress. I think Finn mourns on his own and makes himself available if he is sought out.
Okay.
I think he just wants to, give people that space to feel.
Yeah. As you guys, Finn, you're outside the tavern. There's a broken fountain in front of it. You can see that it's dried up now. You sit at the edge of it as you just kind of elbows on your knees, looking around, just kind of contemplating how Gron might be perceiving you right now, that anxiety kind of gnawing away at you. And you just hear for just a moment, just in your mind, "We don't need them." And you feel your tattoo tingle again.
I think that's what pushes Finn over the edge. I think he weeps.
Okay.
I think he just head in hands, just weeps. Yeah.
In this moment, I don't think Cuthbert is inside. I think Cuthbert probably stayed outside. As Cuthbert kind of like hung in the doorway as you guys kind of reached the entrance to the inn, saw Cress go inside, and Finn, as he saw you hesitate kind of at the door and make your way back towards the fountain, he was just kind of curled up outside the door. And as you shift and put your head in your hands and you begin to weep, you feel a nudge, warm, scaly nose press against your forehead. He's like, "It's okay. It's okay."
I know I told Gron that it was nobody's fault. I feel so guilty. And I know that everybody's feeling the same. You're too good to us, Cuthbert.
No. He presses. You feel, I think Cuthbert, similar to how you felt, no real words to this to help in this moment. Just like presses as he kind of, if he's able to kind of get you to kind of lift your head up, kind of slides the head in under your into your shoulders and presses his forehead into your chest, and he'll just kind of like keep that pressure against you, giving you something that's real in front of you, at least something warm.
He just kind of, a vision of Dex is being split into so many mechanical pieces, just plays on repeat as Finn just in cold defiance to the voice inside, just, "I need you all now more than ever." His kisses Cuthbert. "I'm not going anywhere, big guy."
No, don't go. Don't go. And he's
No.
like, nuzzles you even harder.
"I'm not going anywhere. It's going to take a lot to get rid of me."
Pulls the head back, looks at you, and before you can even really react, there's just a scaly tongue that just goes right up your face. It kind of scratches at you a little bit.
"You guys say I'm so strong and I'm the big man, and I am. Don't get me wrong. You and Cress make me a whole lot stronger. I'm going to go check on him, all right? You want to come in?"
He kind of, as you say that, he kind of presses in one more time, and he kind of winks at you, big emerald eye. He goes, "Better together." As you open the door to go in, Finn, there's kind of a flash of golden light, kind of a little bit of emerald flashes hidden within it as Cuthbert takes on the form of a canary. Just over your shoulder, when you look back, there was a dragon. When you looked over, there was a dragon. As you looked back after the flash of light, now there's just this little golden four-winged canary that just... Okay, think this will be more comfortable.
That's cool.
I say he doesn't even go on your shoulder. He probably goes like at the top of your head.
Yeah, he just kind of, fair enough.
Think.
I think Finn puts the hair down before Cuthbert does and hides as much of the scale as possible.
Okay. Finn, we're going to get back to you as you step into the room.
Yeah.
But Cress, you are over at the table with Gron. As you walked in, Gron got here just maybe a little bit before you guys. As you walk in, you found him initially behind the bar, just like digging through, grabs a bottle of something intact, right? And he's just slumped against a wall, looking out of a broken window over the harbor, the Phraaktyl kind of lit just beyond. And he's just kind of staring out there. When you come in, you pull a chair up next to him, it screeches across the floor. Arr! You sit down. And as you pull the ring out, he shifts his gaze from the Phraaktyl outside to the ring in your hand, and he cups your hand in his. "I'm sorry for my behavior."
You ain't got nothing to apologize for. Nothing at all.
You see in his hand, Cress, just kind of the angle that you're at, he reaches to hold your hand with his left hand, and you see a black spot in his palm, similar to yours. His, though, being a burn, like an actual brand in the palm, whereas yours, it's more like there's a black spot within, like the skin on your hand, the pigment is just black. His is scorched. The flesh was burnt, right? And you can see it leaves a nasty kind of scar, but he goes, they saved me after I got this. Her and Lycus got me out of there before Prana and Zada could do any more cruel fuckery.
Oh, Gron, I'm sorry. And you don't gotta forgive me. I'm sorry.
There's nothing to forgive. I know you and Finn would have done your best. I know the two of you. And Cuthbert did your best. It's just...
Sometimes I wonder what our best is worth if it ain't enough.
He looks outside, his eyes on the Phraaktyl. There's a soldier part of him that, as he kind of thinks, I'm not sure it was worth it.
It wasn't. There are a million things I'd do differently.
He kind of holds the bottle in his hand. Last time I drank, a content warning for alcoholism. Last time I used to have kind of a hard time with the memories after everything. Lukavir was the one who told me how to find myself again.
Fuck, how?
He's always had a good sense of direction, that one.
Yeah, he did.
I remember he gave me something to believe in. I think that's what did it. He told me.
What do you believe in?
Now I want to believe in people. He helped me find people in this town, make friends. And showed me that there was just more to everything than I thought, you know? It was after wars, after fighting, and it's all said and done. The only thing I had left I found in town were the people. It gave me something to protect, to love, to... That's what I wanted when Dex and I started the grotto. That was what it was for, you know? We would bring in people who didn't want to be subject to Trufon's bullshit and giving them a place.
It's a beautiful thing.
They took our town crest. They took it from us. Prana,
I know.
Zadok, these Axiomites, these angels of his, they took our town. And if Dex was here, she'd want us to take it back. Right out from under them.
That does seem like the right thing to do, doesn't it?
But after everything that's just happened, I think it'd just be best if perhaps I'd make my way over to the tower and you all stay here, figure out and support with the Phraaktyl.
Don't you dare fucking do that.
Cress.
Don't you dare fucking do that.
I can't lose another one of you.
If you go to that tower, we'll lose you.
Finn, it's kind of
You
at
look
this
so
point.
much like him, it hurts.
Yeah, I think as he kind of like the brow furrows, you know. Similar expression. They were close, those two. Finn, yourself and Cuthbert are making your way into the space right now. Now, Finn, I need a perception check from you, my friend.
$29.
A 29. As you walk into the room, something pulls your attention over to just off to the side, and you see Cress and Gron sitting at the table. You see tears in their eyes. But what they don't seem to be aware of, that you are aware of, having entered the room now, you guys are not alone here. There is another table set a little ways back in some shadows. You're not sure when this individual walked in, when they arrived. Perhaps they were here already and you guys just didn't notice them when you guys came in.
Mm-hmm.
But you see over in the corner a weathered looking man, scraggly beard, big hat on the table to the side, a large plume inside of it. You see the coat on him, very much that of a buccaneer, a pirate, potentially. And what kind of helps to lend to this image is the peg leg. His left leg is a peg onto the side as he's kind of looking back. And he kind of locks eyes with you. And he kind of arches an eyebrow. And he leans back. Something downright unsettling about you, lad. Here I was, just trying to enjoy a pleasant afternoon all to myself. Gron and Cress become aware now of the individual as well. And Cress, you hear Gron whisper under his breath, Captain Magnus.
What?
He says, go ahead, Finn.
No. Finish your thought.
Gron leans into you, Cress. Just so Cress is the only one who can hear this right now. Finn, you can't hear it. He says,
no, that's completely fair.
He says, old ship captain friend of Prana, ally of his. Rumor has it, and he whispers in real close to you, Cress. Rumor has it, he'd lure ships in for Prana's people to find. Pirate hunter, a pirate turned pirate hunter.
Understood.
So Finn, as he addressed you, many retort.
I apologize for creating a distracting visage. Luckily for you, there's plenty of space to look around this lovely establishment.
So there is. Well, perhaps I'm just partial to the view in this neck of the woods.
Can get used to the sight of me because I'm not moving. Not threatening, almost pleading.
Yeah. Looks over the group of you. I'd seen all three of yous just outside that ship. Care to enlighten old Captain Magnus here about what's transpired? Rather curious, I feel.
Well,
Hey.
Captain Magnus, what's your interest?
Well, let's just say it's not my interest in the denizen of that ship that's of concern, but the concern, rather, of the denizen of that ship's interest in me.
You can elaborate.
Last I'd seen, old Baron Trufran made his way upon that vessel. Him step in, and does not step back out, but instead gestures to the two of you. So I'm curious about what transpired, you see.
Finn looks to Cress. I think on edge because of what just happened with Dex.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready at their go-ahead.
You have business with Baron Truffaut?
I done him a good turn once or twice. Can't much say that the goodwill's been reciprocated, but nonetheless, a business partner. He was.
Sounds like a one-sided business. And not favoring you.
He smiles, and as he does so, you can see he's probably missing more teeth than he has, and those that he has are not in good shape. You've a keen mind, you do. Let's be clear then. I had no love for the old Baron. But his survival or his condition is of interest to me nonetheless. Roll a sense motive. You can use perception here.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would also
Because
allow you...
in their mind, Cress is like, that's unfortunate for you. I don't know what you want. Natural 20.
Natural fucking 20. Yo, okay. Cress. As you look over this individual, something's not right. Aside from the teeth and everything, it's with your natural 20, a couple of things that set you off immediately. That peg leg, as he kind of shifts, perhaps it's just the trick of the light, but maybe it seems longer or shorter at times. Maybe like it changes length. You can see his teeth as he smiles. Every now and then, as he changes position, he kind of takes a swig from a bottle and kind of opens it and kind of smiles at you again. Different teeth. It's weird. It's like, oh, maybe was he? I thought I could have sworn he was missing an incisor before, but no, now it's there.
Seems like an illusion.
Yeah, there's something trippy about it. You can just see the way maybe too his skin crawls, though. Maybe, I would say not illusion, but perhaps more physical. But he's in half-light, but with a natural 20. You know, like in half-light, Finn, you wouldn't pick up on it at all, right? But Cress, there's something iffy about the way this guy's skin and form seems to shift just subtly, right? With it, 20 is the only way you'd really pick that shit up, right? But the other thing, too, you rolled a sense motive as well. With your sense motive, like, I think you're pretty much spot on already. I just want to confirm. Yes, he did have a deal with Truffaut. Yes, it seems this deal was not in his favor. But he is very hesitant to share the nature of the deal because, as you recall, Truffaut had the ability to manipulate people. So he's wary of you. He's taking a measure of you. He wants to know whether or not you are aligned with Truffaut. He's trying to probe what your relationship with Truffaut was.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to decide if he can trust you.
Well, Captain. May your future business ventures be uncomplicated and in your favor.
He leans back and smiles at you, Cress, his teeth just sinking in and out of his gums as he drums his fingers on the counter, on the table before him. And he says, "Oh, well then wouldn't you look at that then? Sounds like old Captain Magnus might be in need of a new business partner." And kind of leans forward, and as he does so, kind of arches an eyebrow just an inch too high as the eye kind of also opens up maybe a little too wide as he kind of cocks a wry expression at you. And that right there is where we are going to call tonight's session of Unearthed Inheritance. Guys, thank you so much for playing. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Before we head out here, friends, would you like to just tell the folks who you are and how you feel? Starting with... sorry, I should start somebody off.
My name's Button, and I feel spooked by this weird shifting form pirate who is up in our grill. Leave us alone, you spooky bitch. But he won't. I'm Blue Button on social media. My pronouns are they, them. You can also find me over on Tales Archived in the Known Realms Tolesh campaign and over on Dice Cream Sandwich in the Astral Academy mini campaign.
Yeah, I'm very spooked by Captain Magnus. I want to push him off of something tall.
Ooh.
That's my instinct.
Good
I
thing we have the
just
Phraaktyl.
don't like it. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Come on up to our ship here, Captain.
Yeah, we'll show you where Prana is.
You want to see?
I'm sure he's probably a very useful ally. I just have to get back past being really spooked.
Okay. Interesting. Alec, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, my name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling also spooked. I'm feeling conflicted. And I feel like I got some voices in my dome that I particularly don't like. But Cuthbert's my son, and that makes me feel a bit better. I think Cress and Finn are going to become very lovely co-parents.
This is our baby.
Yeah, this is our
Look at our
child.
little
When I'm not here playing Finn Reese, wow, the thoughts.
Shooby doo.
When I'm not here playing Finn Reese at Stealthy Elf Productions, you can find me over at Tales Archived. I am the archivist for the Known Realms Telesh campaign, and I got some other really fun stuff cooking there, and that you should look out for in the coming months. That's me, David.
I saw the hand lift up and I was waiting for some sort of like dramatic flourish.
Hold on.
Beautiful. That's
Thanks.
my cue. All right, guys. My name is David. I've been your GM this evening. You can catch me over on Tales Archived, where I play Whistle, the Hobgoblin fighter, in the Known Realms Telesh campaign. And you can also catch me here at Stealthy Elf every weekend as the GM of either this wonderful Unearthed Inheritance campaign or even our Sandsea Saga campaign. We will see you guys around. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
I confess that I was being dumb today and they're making fun of me.
Tell us about your campaigns.
Shut up! Leave me alone!
I want to be like you.
Shooby-doo.